Hey guys, popping on here because I said that I would try to hop on and do a meal live with you guys. So I chose the meatballs this week just because I felt like they're probably a little bit of the more challenging out of this week's. So I have my 2 pounds of my turkey. I actually buy the pack that is 3 pounds. So this is about a pound right here. And I'm just gonna brown that up, and you can season it with whatever you want, but this will be perfect to use for your meat for Friday for the pizza. So just ideas there when you're buying that. It is 2 pounds, so this is a double batch. So we can go ahead and you can freeze half of these if you want. And then that way on those crazy nights, I know some of you guys said last night how insane it has been already this week for you, neighbors' houses burning down and just crazy stuff, remodeling. I totally get it. My sister-in-law stopped over today and she's like, oh, it always looks so calm on your videos. So you guys please do not be fooled. My life is crazy also, but we make it work, right? That's just how you do. Yep, we had the first halfway nice day today, so as soon as the kids got home from school, we just went out and cleaned the car. So you can't clean it when it's winter, and man, does it get disgusting. So we got the vacuums out and the water and soap and scrubbed everything down. So hopefully, it is spring. And then yes, my little guy decided to take a swim in the mud puddle, like straight up swim. I'll have to post pictures because I did get a kick out of it. It was a lot of mud. But then, so I had to bring him in, wash him up, get him dry, get him clean, get new clothes on him. Turn around, he decided to go swimming in the toilet. Like literally was head to toe soaked with toilet water. My sister-in-law, she had stopped by, so she can attest to that. So again, changed him, got him redressed, went back outside, and yes, he was full of mud again. So yeah, that was our evening. So now it's time to kind of get dinner on the table. So I am just kind of looking at what I sent you so I can just kind of go through step by step. It says chop the onions. So we chopped the onions. I'm putting that into the meat. It says mince your garlic. So I am mincing my garlic. And we're going to add that in. Then it says add the rest of your ingredients. And it looks like that is bread, eggs, and some seasoning. So, and some parsley. And I'm out of parsley, so I was gonna stop at Service today because they actually have bigger bulks of it. I have some arugula, so I'm just gonna throw in arugula. It's kind of got a little bitter taste, but it will work. So I am just kind of substituting and using what I have, and you guys will learn what you guys can kind of sub as we go too, and I will be adding those types of things. So okay, it calls for a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. If you guys don't like heat, please do not put it in. Go ahead and leave that out if your kids are sensitive or you're sensitive. And it calls for 2 tablespoons of oregano, and I know the center of my palm is a tablespoon, so I will double that, and then 1 teaspoon of the garlic. And as you can see, I am pretty good at just eyeballing and seeing and kind of knowing, because this is what I do, guys. I cook. So yes, it was just nice to kind of be out and about today and just enjoy. It was only, I think, got up into the 40s, but still it just was really nice to have a little bit of nicer weather. And it's springtime, I have my springtime top on, so we're gonna welcome that in. Okay, then we need to add our 2 eggs, and then our 2 different cheeses, and our slices of bread. And the eggs help bind together, so it's binding the meat, and the cheese give it flavor and also help bind. So got my half a cup of my you guys are going to use Parmesan. I don't have Parmesan, so I'm stuffing feta, and then it calls for what, a half a cup, was it? Yep, of mozzarella. So that is that. I am just gonna finish mixing this. The bread, you don't have to put the bread in. If you guys are doing low carb, that's totally fine. What this does is I find that it just kind of helps keep the moisture in when it's cooking. Oh, don't be fighting. Some of the moisture and the flavor inside the meatball. So I always just kind of put a few little chunks in. Again, it's 2 pounds. It's 2 pounds of meat. So it's about 1 slice of bread per pound that I like to kind of mix in there. And I know, it's not good for me with my diabetes to have a whole lot of carbs, but I am not carb free. But you do not have to do that step, and the meatballs will hold together and they will come out just fine. Okay, so now that we have our meatball mixture, this also would work for meatloaf. If you guys wanted to do like 1 pound little bitty meatloafs, you could totally do a meatloaf pan and slice it up if you didn't want to roll out the little balls. And that is an option and a time saver. So I just do about 1-inch little balls, like so. And then as you can see, I do have my pan that I'm going to, that is stovetop to oven, so that can go into my oven. And I do have my oven set at 350. So that is ready to rock and roll as soon as I'm done rolling these meatballs. And like I said, I'm just gonna do half of these also for this evening, and that is enough to feed my family. And then the rest of them I'm gonna roll and then place on a cookie sheet, and I freeze them on the sheet with parchment paper, and then I transfer them to a bag and a freezer bag. And then you guys, next Wednesday or whenever you don't have time, those are ready just to pull out, and you have a quick meal on hand, which is always great, especially when we're talking about how weeks like this have been, how it just gets crazy. So life gets crazy, and it's nice to have those backup freezer meals that are just easy to pop in and be quick. So go ahead and do a few more of these. And then what we do is we just turn our stovetop on, and I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil to that. I have a really good non-stick pan. So I don't need a whole lot, but if you guys don't have a non-stick, make sure that you put the oil in there first before you start dropping the meatballs into the pan, because you don't want them to stick. Because they are turkey. Turkey's a little bit softer than like hamburger, the meat, the texture of it. So it does kind of stick easier, and then it can fall apart. So just make sure that you have plenty of a really good pan and also the oil. And as you can see, I have my water that's boiling back here, and I'm going to drop in the noodles for my kids and my husband, and then I have a zucchini that I'm just going to make into zoodles, and that will be dinner, guys. I've got some spinach that I picked up that was on sale, so I'll probably just make like a spinach and strawberry salad just to kind of bring that spring vibe into the house and into the dish and into the meal. And let me know how everything's going. Thank you, Melissa, for sharing last night your win on dinner. It's exciting when it turns out, and it looked like it was amazing and that your family loved it, so that makes me very happy. And yes, if you guys are having any issues or questions, please reach out. Okay, so as you can see, I've got about half of my meatballs rolled here, so we're just going to go ahead and turn on my stove top on high. I'm gonna rinse my hands back here quick. And grab the pasta. And I'm just gonna drop that in. And I do have my water salted a little bit. Just gives it a little bit of flavor. But you do not have to put salt in your water. When you do drop them in, make sure that you give them a little mix so that they don't stick. And then just add a little bit of olive oil to the noodles. That just helps them not stick together also while they're cooking. And I guess I didn't put that all in there, but I figure a lot of times it's on the package. And then again, I'm just gonna drizzle our meatballs with that. And that is pretty much it. We've got our noodles in. I'm just gonna go ahead and give those a little brown over here, and probably about 4 minutes. And then give it a little shake, turn those over, another 4 minutes, and then I'm just gonna pop them in the oven for till they're cooked through, and which is not going to be long. And that is that. So yes, you guys can top with Parmesan cheese and sprinkle it with a little bit more of the parsley just to give it some fun color and flavor. And that is that. So, okay, well, I hope this helps people as they're walking through it. If they had any questions, you can refer to this or just drop some questions in this link below and I'll get back and answer. Again, thank you guys for the feedback. When you guys do have a win or don't have a win and something doesn't go right, it's totally okay to let me know on here too. What's working, what's not working, and that's how I fix things too. So, thank you again. Everybody have a great Wednesday evening, and we will see you all soon.